Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So I did the Monster Box show and tell for my main device, and then I asked if people wanted to see the sub, and they said yes, so we'll do that now. So first we'll go here to missions, and then we'll claim my reward for 550 days here. And I need them after pulling that Aqua Hatcher. Alrighty. So let's look at my grade sheet here. And yep, 550 login days. Rank 246. I put a little bit of effort into raising my rank with this recent 5 times experience window. And then here again, quests attempted impossible, and then quests cleared impossible. I don't think... maybe it is over 40%. I'll check that later. And then here I have my biggest combo, and again that is with a Kala, not quite over 1,000, so maybe I need to try again there. And then biggest damage, I'm pretty proud of this. This is Kappa on the leveled floor 29 of the Tower of Champions. And this is to use that strike shot on the second stage of the boss. So yeah, pretty cool there. Alrighty. Here I have 90 max lux. My main has 92, and I'll show you what those are and why that happened later. But here these are my top 10 most used monsters for my sub. And yeah, just like my main, the top 5, these are all monsters that I was using early in the game. And then the bottom 5 are the ones that I've used more recently. So yeah, Oriol, she's here at the top, and yeah, in the early game, the null gravity barrier, null damage wall is very useful, but lately not so much, and it's been months since I've used Oriol. Kenshin here, I still use her every now and then, and then Lorelei, this is the evolution version. I used her a lot in the early game, which is why she's up there. And then Leah Ascension, one of my top picks for a max luck. Again, don't use her too much these days, but once in a while. And then here, this is a Kali, whoops, and she has the Genius Ableberry. She's one of my top 3 picks for the Genius Ableberry, so she has that, and then I use her to raise my rank, which is why she's so high. And then next is Kushinada, and yeah, like I said in the other video, she entered the top 10 just around the same time that she became a max luck. So I can expect her to climb the ranks. Next I have Lorelei Ascension, very strong. And then here is Mustang Evolution. I ascended her after Ascension came out, so 350 is as high as this Evolution is going to get. And then Nezumi Kozol here. I also used him to farm for experience, and then also farm some easy quests. Yeah. Alright, next we will go into the monster box. And then let's search by, oh here we go, by Ableberry. And then this will give me all my Hatcher monsters. And then I can also talk about what Ableberries they got. Alright, so here, this is Royce, the brand new Royce, very strong. And then, generally I don't like the bias or the style, kin strength or kin speed Ableberries. Because they don't give as much of a bonus as the class. But in the case of like Royce, where I maybe once in a while want to use like 2 or 3 Royces together, this can be pretty good. A lot of the Ableberries, they don't stack if they're the exact same kind. So if you have like 2 Cutthroat Ableberries, they won't do, you know, double the damage on the boss, just the one that's the highest percentage. And then also, if I have 2 Royces and they both have a class Kinvigor Ableberry, I'll only get the bonus once. But if one has a class Kinvigor and the other one has a bias Kinvigor, then they'll get the bonuses. So this can be useful in the case of characters that I want to use more than one of. And then here, this is a very special combination, because with Mustang, with the bias kin strength Ableberry, when she teams up with Kushinada, she can raise Kushinada's attack, And this is important in Bishamonten in order to get Kushinada's attack above the one-punch line. And it's not necessary to do that, but it does make the mission a little bit easier. And yeah, it's a difficult mission, so every little bit helps. Alright, moving on down. Class Kin Vigor, that's good on pretty much everybody. Here is Class Kin Speed, and I guess here I could point this out. This is Shizuka Ascension, she's a samurai. And then this is Ryoma Ascension, also a samurai. And yeah, they're the same class, so they can raise each other's speed. And these characters are both good on floor 33 of the tower. But since they have the same Ableberry, they can't, you know, kind of double the buff. So it might be worth changing one of these Ableberries. Alright, next, Class Kin Strength. I guess we'll look at my other Transcendent forms. Here's God Striker, he's got Class Kin Strength. That works great with his Counter Slayer. And then I have a Survivor, which is pretty great with his very, very high hit points. And then here is Royce. He has Class Kin Strength and a Sidekick, which I'm really happy about. And who else is good? This guy has the Double Slayer, so that works well with the Class Kin Strength. And works well with Himiko as well, with her Wood Slayer. And yeah, that's about that there. And yeah, I will say that with my main and my sub, I think, well, I've definitely pulled more Hatchers with my main. But my sub has better luck with limited characters. So like Himiko, for example. And then, who else? Some summer characters, some Halloween characters. Yeah, just generally I have better luck with limited characters on my sub, which is kind of a funny thing. Alright, here is Mend. I don't like Mend, I prefer Survivor, so I'd like to change all of these here. And then Detox I like, and thankfully I have 2 Detox Ableberries on Null Gravity guys, so I can use them on floor 24 of the tower. And yeah, that's one of my few S++ berries. And then here is Strike Haste, another one of my favorite berries. This is pretty great on Agnamut, so she can get out her Meteor super quick. Yeah, 20 turns, that's pretty crazy. And who else we got? Yeah, I think Strike Haste is pretty good on Snowbow Alpha, because you want her to get close to a boss, so that she can get her bump combo out. So getting this Strike Shot out earlier is pretty good for her. And then, Knockout. This is my favorite Ableberry, and on a Pierce character, it's just amazing. So I love it on Uriel here. And then Loki here, when he gets his Transcendent form, Knockout will be pretty good for him, because he has a Tackle Strike Shot, so that'll be a lot of hits and a lot of chances to knock out the target. Here's Cutthroat, also good on anyone. And then here is Survivor, also good on anyone. And this is especially good on Merlin, because she's good for floor 22 of the tower. And yeah, that super strong homing comes out, but it'll do less damage to Merlin here. Who else? Well, I'll show you another Transcendent form. Here is Hunter King. Survivor and Sidekick, that's a pretty awesome combination. And here's Agnamut X, Detox and Survivor, also pretty great. And yes. Oh, and here is a Raphael that I've had for a while now. And hopefully she gets her Transcendent form soon, that'll be pretty great. And then here is some Sidekick. This is pretty great for Ibaraki Doji Alpha, because she has that homing shot with a lot of shots. And that's good on Striker and Hunter King, of course. And I got this the other day, this is pretty great. Yeah, Lorelai's got one of the strongest bump combos in the game, so Sidekick is perfect for her. And then yeah, that's it there. And Genius, like I said earlier, this is on my Collie. This is a perfect match. But then when the Tower of Champions is up, then I usually put up this guy. So that people can use him either in the tower or to raise their rank from the friends list. And then I could do that for Royce, but he's good for less floors of the Tower of Champions. So I'm going to try to replace this Genius Ableberry on him. And yeah, that's about it. And as for other characters that I would like to get a Ableberry on, I really want one on Sanzan Hoshi. She's a pretty fun character. And yeah, she was one of the very last Hatcher monsters from previous Hatchers that I wanted. It was like her, and then I think the last one that I don't have is Ibaraki Dolji, the regular one. So I'm still hoping for her. And who else is good? I just pulled Izumo in the Aqua Hatcher the other day. She's pretty great in Avalon. And then I also pulled Sirius. Yeah, I'm already done with my Light Murasame, so I don't really need this guy anymore. And then I also pulled 2 Raphaels. So yeah, I got 3 of them. I'm probably going to transcend 2 of them, and then leave the 3rd one in this pre-evolution form. And who else? Yeah, I got another striker here. Don't need any more of him. And yes, lots of other guys. And yeah, actually, looking at the total, comparing my main and my sub has a lot more characters that will be transcended in the future. So my sub may become more powerful than my main as time goes on. Okay, well, next let's look at Max Lux. And then the way that I do Max Lux, the way that I do it differently between my main and my sub, is that my main I usually do the Ascension form, and then my sub I do the Evolution form. So that's why I have the Evolution of Shikolte here, and then the Ascension on my main. That way I can get use out of both for whatever situation I need it for. Another example of that is Lucas here. And actually I prefer the Evolution form of Lucas since his bump combo is at full power. And then here, even though this Nyanpire is not very strong, either version, it's cool to have both versions just for the artwork. And who else? But in the case of like PCG3, where both versions are very worth having, then I'll go ahead and I'll make 2 versions of that. And then, yeah, like Basilisk, that's another example where the Evolution is really good for a floor of the Tower of Champions, but the Ascension is better for, like farming for Dragon Gems or Yamato Takeru, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's how that looks like. Pretty much the same as the main. But here, I have Marishten and Ashura at 95, even though they're finished on my main. And what happened there is that, you know, when I was at home and I had both devices, then I could play them together. But, you know, I would take my phone with me to work, and then if there was an impossible quest going, then I would play it. And then I would get, like, you know, a few drops that way, which is why my main was ahead of my, or is ahead of my sub with Max Lux here. And then this is kind of a living proof for the point that I made earlier, where if you are thinking about making the Max Lux of a monster, not to wait, not even if you have the right Max Lux to take in there, just to get clears and to get even 1 drop. Because in this case, if I had not brought my, or if I had not played my phone solo, then it would still be at 95, the same as my sub. And that would be like a couple months without a Max Lux Marishten. So yeah, for those couple months when I was able to make the max luck of Marishten on my main, it was worth playing those few times on my main device by itself. But yeah. So that's pretty much the monster box. Not as long as the main, since it's mostly the same. I guess some interesting news. I recently got Kushinada 0 up to 19. I'm looking forward to making the max luck of that. And, here is my highest Hatcher monster luck. This is a Striker. And then also Nezumi Kozo. And then Romeo here. Thanks to IMAX Hatcher, I got a whole bunch of these, so that's why his luck is so high. And then Columbia, or Independence here. Yep. Alright, so I think that'll do it for my... oh, here. Yeah, Avalon, 5 luck. One day maybe, she'll be a max luck. Alrighty, so I think that will do it for my box show and tell for my sub device. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.